What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 18 For Bettor or Worse. I am Nick, joined again by Do It. We all know you're doing it.
My co-host Matt.
Got a lot to talk about, but at the same time, not a lot to talk about. So, it's going to be a nice, quick, easy episode. Get some plays out, talk about some sports, and get on with your day. You know, nice, beautiful thing we got going on here. Obviously, NBA, NHL, and some MLB. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. But let's talk about, you know, what just happened last night. NBA, Warriors closed it out.
Yep.
Matt, what are your thoughts on that game? Series overall.
The series, I think, showed me that the Celtics are still a piece away. I think there was an overreaction to them beating the Bucks in 7 when they didn't have Chris Middleton. But to me, it might be the LeBron effect. I just feel like both these teams were beatable. I just don't know. Maybe it's like, I don't know. It nothing really impressed me. Like no one had like a really, even when Steph does his thing, or maybe I'm numb to the effect. Maybe Steph has like the LeBron effect where I'm just so used to it where it doesn't impress me anymore kind of thing. Like when LeBron is 35, 10 and 10, I'm like, okay, that's kind of supposed to happen. And when Steph's like 5 for 10 from deep, I'm like, okay, it's a regular Tuesday for the guy. So I don't know. There wasn't like a real spark. It was nice for me to see Andrew Wiggins win his first ring. I follow the Timberwolves a little bit ever since Karl Towns got drafted this time. And I always liked him as a player. Seeing him win a ring it's good to see for him. And I like the Clay comeback story, but I do think Tatum gets absolutely no foul calls. And I'm not even like a Tatum guy. One thing I kind of noticed, but I guess you got to kind of beat the champion, you know, like in UFC or boxing, if it's like a close fight. I feel like the Warriors got the benefit of the calls, but I'm not gonna say it was rigged. It wasn't too crazy, but you know, the Celtics lacked some maturity. I'll say that.
I think mentally, you're right. And that's kind of my point. I was going to go off this. The Celtics just like, I don't know, mental toughness. Like, you know, when they face a little adversity, it just never hard to bounce back, especially the last 2 games, really. Because they went up and then they went down, and then it just wasn't competitive, you know, at that point. And got swallowed just, you know, overall. But the game before that, they came back in the third, and then just kind of, I don't know. It's those simple 1 or 2 possessions that it just things fall short. Especially with like when I went back with the Jaylen Brown turnovers and the shots, and then
I will say I think that Draymond, and one thing that pisses me off, I actually like Draymond Green as a player, but he could do whatever he wants. And it's so weird to me how like he can do whatever he wants and everyone's like, oh, it's Draymond. But then Marcus Smart does what he does and everyone's like, that's ridiculous. But isn't that Marcus Smart? Like I just like they both should be able.
I hate Draymond. I mean, it's he's got a punchable face. He's got one of those.
A lot of people do, but I'm saying like it's like I don't understand how you could say, oh, it's just Draymond. He should be able to do it because this is what he does. Well, then you could say the same for Marcus Smart, but he clearly didn't get what he uses. So it was just kind of annoying. So I don't know. I want it to be like a both ways view type thing, but the Warriors have a great team. I don't know how the hell they got Andrew Wiggins. Thinking about it and watching the ceremony, I was like, this team has been so dominant for like 6 years. How the hell did they get Kevin Durant on their team? Like I was thinking about that. Like that is just ridiculous. And I think that's why I wasn't starstruck in the finals, because I'm not used to seeing LeBron try to take on like the Avengers, which is like this Warriors team with Kevin Durant. Like, you know what I mean? I saw Peyton Pritchard playing NBA finals minutes.
Yeah. Did Steph Curry deserve his MVP final? What do you think?
I
don't know if there's anybody else I mean, Wiggins didn't really.
I think Wiggins was the most consistent player on the offensive and defensive end. He did a great job on Jason Tatum. And offensively, and he grabbed a lot of boards. I think Wiggins was my personal play. Personal favorite to an MVP, but like with the name brand recognition, you got to do a little more scoring because that's probably what my argument would be.
Yeah.
I'm looking now too. The Celtics had, I think it was like less than 5, or I think it was 5 bench points last game.
Yeah, awful.
And
that definitely was a problem.
And the game before that, they had 10, but like 6 or 7 of those 10 points were like garbage time minutes from like their last 5 guys that they put in just to.
And I feel like that's usually one of their strong points as far as being a deep team overall. And it just, when your strong points becomes one of your weaknesses, then you're gonna have problems.
Like Grant Williams had 10 points one game. Derek White had 7, and both those 2 guys just fell off the last 2 or 3 games. So if you want to blame somebody,
most definitely.
But now we can focus on the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I think it's time.
It's time. Did you watch game 1? Did you have any thoughts? Or did you just?
I watched the beginning of it. So obviously I saw that the Avs won 3-0, right?
No, it was they were 3-1. It might have been 3-0. I think it was 2-1, then 3-1. I
think it was something like that, yeah. I know it was 3-1 at one point because and then
the Lightning came back, and then the Avalanche won quickly in overtime. I still think the Avalanche may not lose a game. Watching that game, they are so much better, and they don't even have Kadri on the ice. So like, Braden Point played like 20 minutes still, which is a lot, and I don't know what the Lightning can do to beat the Avs. They may win in 5 games, the Avs, but they also could win in 4. I do not think this series goes 6. Maybe I eat my words, but I just don't think that there's anything that this Lightning team can do to, like, that was the game they needed to win, in my opinion, and they blew it. They came back.
They won.
Yeah, but the Avs haven't played in 8 days, and that's the game you want to win, and you come back down 3-1 and then lose it. It's kind of like you missed your chance.
Yeah. So what I was wondering about is how much money the books made. They made so much money. So like I believe it was like 78% of the money was on Avs -1.5.
Yep.
And then as far as money line's concerned, like 68% of the money was on Lightning money line. So obviously
probably more money on the Avs 60-minute, which lost.
Yeah, that lost too, which it shouldn't have, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, the books made out in game 1. Just having the line to where everything is -150, and then obviously if you like waited till I bet it, didn't work out that way because they scored right away and went up big. So yeah.
I also I hate Gabriel Landeskog. I bet Rantanen to score first, and he shot it, and it was going through Vasilevsky's legs going in, and Landeskog just comes in and goes boop and just tapped it in. I was so mad.
What was your odds on that?
So mad.
Yeah, it's still the same like it's -154 for next game. Yeah, it was money line and +128.
Yeah, no.
Same thing.
I think the Avs, I might take Avs -1.5, and the Lightning might need to regroup at home because
it's
I
plus
think
1.
they're feeling themselves right now.
+168. That's tempting there for sure.
If I'm the Avs,
over under is 6. That's the one thing I wanted to talk to you about last episode, but we got away from it. At 6 actually hit. It was a lot closer than I thought it would be, as far as especially when I saw it was 3-1, 3-0 towards the beginning of the game. Over under, any thoughts there as far as?
I do lean the over just because of how fast Colorado is. Like, I think Colorado scores 4. They scored 3 in the first, I think, against the Lightning last game.
Mhm.
and then went scoreless for another 40 minutes. I don't think that happens. I don't think they score 3 in the first, but I don't think they go scoreless for another 40 minutes. And they were having some good shots. I don't know. Yeah, I think the over's got to be a play.
Yeah. Life's too short to bet that under. Life's too short. Don't stretch
Don't ever
yourself
bet
out.
under in hockey and watch the game either, because every shot you just
Oh yeah, God. Especially at the end, empty net.
yeah.
Oh, that's Dude, I did that at the beginning of the season because I was like, okay, it was like 5. It's like 5-3. I forgot it was. I'll give you a gist of it. It was like 5-3, and then they pulled the goalie with 5 minutes left.
These are down 2.
Yeah, 5 minutes left. I'm like, the game's like, holy crap! And I lost. I had a 2.5 point cushion, and they scored like 4 goals.
Yep.
Absurd.
It's
So
brutal.
yeah, no, definitely stressful. Let's talk about some MLB because that's we're in the heart of the season. A lot
Yep.
going on overall. I want to talk about one game right off the bat. The game might have already started by now, but maybe you'll get a listen on it. Braves versus the Cubs. Braves are really hot right now. I mean,
They are.
they have rattled off some wins. I honestly, like, how many? 14 wins in a row. Is that good? Is 14 good?
That is very good.
Yeah. So you got Keegan versus Morton. So a couple things I want to look at. Keegan he has fallen off a cliff from where he was earlier in the season. Like I don't understand it. Personally, he had a relief inning versus the Yankees, 0.2 inning, 0.2. He made it, and he gave up 3. He gave up 5 runs, but 3 were earned runs. In 0.2, he walked 3 people. That was one of his main things. Versus Baltimore, he gave up 7 runs in 3 innings, and then versus St. Louis, he gave up 3 runs in 5 innings. And this is also versus Morton. So the Braves have won by 2 in the last 8 games in a row.
Wow.
Yeah. So I hate double dipping, but the Braves team total over 4.5 at -105 and Braves -1.5 at -102. I mean, I think that's the way to go, especially with Morton on the other side of the mound. Cubs haven't looked great. The weather is back to normal. No craziness like it has in the last couple of days where we've been betting the overs, but the Braves are just so hot, and Keegan Thompson is just not.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's really bad. I don't know your thoughts, or I mean, that just seems it's one of those plays where it's just like, okay, well, why didn't they just 8 in a row? I mean, 8 in a row. The team's so hot. They won 14 straight games.
And Keegan Thompson, he might as well be Keenan Thompson. It's so bad.
He's not. I mean, I was betting on him earlier in the year, and he was on a roll, but now he's just completely fallen apart in the last 3 games. Really.
Yeah, no.
It's honestly sad.
No, I like it. I hate the Braves, obviously, but they're cruising right now.
You don't like the Braves? Not a Braves fan?
No.
Don't like a superior team? That's a good team.
Superior, not this year. I don't look at the past.
That's a good team.
They're still a very good team.
14 in a row.
Absolutely.
I feel like they're gonna win their division, and
that might be the first thing I didn't agree with you all podcast.
all right. We got to get it out of the way. So yeah, those are my 2 plays. Hopefully you see this in time. If you don't, sorry, I'll post it as well. It's no worries. Astros, White Sox at Astros. This is another thing I was looking at. Valdez under K's. I really want to see the lineup. That was the main thing. I know we talked about this earlier. Obviously the White Sox don't strike out much. as a team, but it really just depends on that lineup because they've had some injuries and they have some guys in there that do strike out a good number. That being said, he's kind of consistent around that mark. 6'5", 7'4", 7'6" in the last 7 games, which is a little concerning. But these are versus prime match. I mean, he had 6 versus the Marlins, 5 versus the Royals, 7 versus the A's, 4 versus Cleveland, and then 7 versus the Rangers. I mean, those are good, some good teams. And obviously, when he went under, it was versus the Royals and the Guardians. So teams that don't strike out much, kind of like the White Sox. So something to look at overall. I know you had some plays. What were you thinking for the day?
Yeah, well, first of all, FanDuel, pissed off at you. I got Hunter Green at over 6.5 Ks minus 134 last night. Was in the middle of posting it to Chalkboard and Twitter. Line moved to 7.5. Said whatever. And then I went to go check the odds while you were saying your play. And DraftKings we were talking before how they had Bryce Harper over 2.5 bases instead of 1.5. And I was pissed off. FanDuel opened Bryce Harper over 1.5 bases at minus 130. Literally went to go bet it, and my location was verifying, and it went up to minus 150. So
that's the worst.
I'm pissed off. I'm like, everything I touch is like, ooh, you got to be quicker than that. Ooh. You know, that little commercial.
Yeah.
That's literally what's going on right now. So I'm a little frustrated this morning. I didn't even have my coffee yet. But in that Brewers-Reds game with Hunter Green K's, I do like someone there. Brandon Drury over 1.5 bases. There's no lines on DraftKings or MGM yet, but there is plus 110 on FanDuel. I'm going to wait myself to see if I get a better line on the other books, but plus 110 is obviously fine as well, especially for my FanDuel users. It is there for you guys. He's batting 302 versus lefties and only 259 to righties. He has a lefty today in Eric Lauer. And he's batting 327 at home versus 212 on the road. So he's got at home versus a lefty. That's 300 versus lefty and at home. Insane ISO to 2 of the 4 pitches. I think if he does get it, he might go yards. So maybe a home run's in play. I like the price, and I like this spot here as we're now getting towards the middle of the season where a lot of these bases guys are getting really juiced. You see Jose Ramirez at over 1.5 bases, like minus 140, 150 now. Sometimes Devers and Alvarez are getting there too. So we're going to have to kind of pivot. You know, you got to learn when your run and when your edge on the book is there and when it's not. So keep in mind this juice when you're playing the bases props, because those walks will screw you. And if you don't get a good price, it may not be worth it. But Brandon Drury's having an amazing season. Former Met for like 5 days, but he's been a stud, and I love that price today. So I like Brandon Drury over 1.5 bases. Would you still play Green K's, by the way, at 7.5 or no?
That's the question. I mean, this is the ultimate test. If he can do it, then he's definitely on my Mount Rushmore. But the thing that concerns me is what you brought up earlier as far as his previous games versus them. He got rocked one game, which is classic. And he got, what was it, 7?
Got 7, 2 2/3.
Yeah, 2 2/3. He got 7, but he also gave up 8 runs. This is just classic Hunter Green performance.
Yeah, so there's actually 8 outs he can get, and he's had 7 strikeouts.
That's Hunter Green. That's Hunter Green for you. Home run or bust. Home run or strikeout, excuse me.
Yeah.
And then the other game before that, he had 6. But it's been a while. Like, I don't know.
My thing is the Brewers just lost a heartbreaking loss to the Mets. Comeback loss, now have to travel. That plane ride's going to suck. And then they get this guy throwing 170 miles an hour, it seems like. So,
I mean, it's going to be an exciting bet, and you get it at plus money now. So it's not like the end of the world. But, I mean, it's right around where he is. Like 7, 8, 8, 6, 6, 9, 6, 7. Yeah. So, I mean, personally, I'm not betting it. So,
yeah, I think 7.5 might be too wonky. Maybe I'll do a Green 6 Ks and a Brandon Drury hit lay. Maybe that's what I'll do.
There you go. Same gamer.
Um,
There's
Going
one
to
more
the
game.
next game, the Yankees and Blue Jays. Anytime I get to fade the Yankees is a great day. But Bo Bichette over 1.5 bases. Don't actually have a line for you yet, but he's 6 for 11 with 2 home runs versus Montgomery. And he's hit it in every game where he's had 2 at bats versus Montgomery. So it's not like one game each one, like 5 for 5. He's covered the bases in I think all 4 games. He's had 2 at bats versus Montgomery. So I love I think the price was, let me just pull it up. Sorry for the delay. Plus 110 on DraftKings, another plus money play. So if you get Bo Bichette at plus money, that's because Montgomery's been pretty good, but his track record and ISO numbers make me love this play. And also, if you play Jury and Bichette, if one hits, you have a positive day. It's not a great day, but it's a positive day, and if both hit, you got 2 plus money hits. So that's probably what I'm gonna do today. Gonna post them out on Twitter later. May have another podcast exclusive play next week, but we gotta work on the back end of make sure these episodes get up in time. So we'll see what time this episode gets up, and we'll look to do it next week. Also, I should have my death wheel stuff next week. So, or this weekend. I think I'm getting my crickets today. So
I got mine. I did cheat a little bit, I guess. I don't know. I got mine with it's like a hot crickets.
Oh,
little flavor in mine.
Yeah. But death wheel stuff should be coming out next week. I may also revisit my Mount Rushmore next week, and replace Harper and probably Ohtani because I haven't touched him in a while. So we'll see.
Well, we have something to talk about because I promised, and you can see it there. That's my kicked out of a stadium story.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember what year it was. That's the problem. Because I just remembered mid-episode.
Does the year matter? Who was the president?
Obama.
Was the team good?
Yes. Okay. Obviously. Okay, here we go. Here's my story. Here's my truth. Live my truth. The year is mid 2000 teens. My wife, now girlfriend then, bought me a birthday present. It was to go see the Redskins at the Eagles.
Eagles. Wow.
Yeah. And I'm calling the Redskins because that's when they were at the time. So this was back. I'm trying to remember the exact year. It was when this was to clinch to go into the playoffs at Eagle Stadium, which we ended up doing. I've been told we ended up doing. So I have a buddy from the Army who is a big Phillies fan, lives in Philly. I went up to his house to stay there, and I bought they got tickets, and we were going to go there. So we started drinking beforehand, as anybody should.
That's weird.
Responsibility wasn't the name of the game, though. And I went to a bar beforehand with her, got so drunk.
You're also in Philly. That's brutal.
Yeah, I'm in Philly. I got so drunk that I basically, I even started buying a drink for a girl in front of her. Oh my God. Yeah. It was so bad.
You married this one?
Yeah, I know.
How'd you get out of that one? All right, it's another story.
I mean, she knew I was just destroyed. We somehow, this has all been told to me at this point. So we went to a bar beforehand near there. I mean, I'm just downing drinks. Like it's my job, because it is as a fan, is my job to drink every alcohol in this vicinity of the stadium. I get there. I get to the outside of the stadium. Again, this is all told to me. I can't even walk. So she's like carrying me, trying to get in. They take my tickets, they rip it up, they get my ID, and they ban me. And then like she's trying to carry me back. It's like a couple miles back. So she's trying to get a cab to carry me back. Apparently a Segway cop comes by. He's like, "Oh, you need help?" I was like,
what a guy.
Like, yeah.
Shout out Segway cop. Paul Blart coming to the rescue.
Yeah, but she was like, he's the most worthless cop ever because he was trying to help me while on the Segway. Like, what are you doing?
Can't give that up. I get it.
What do you do? So he's trying to like help me. Eventually, a random fan, whoever you are, thank you, helped put me in a car. And I remember waking up at like 2 a.m. and they're both watching Happy Gilmore, which now she refuses to watch. Great movie. I ruined that movie for her.
Yeah, wow.
And I asked who won the game. I asked when we're going to the game. I woke up when we're going to the game. And then it was not
next year.
Yeah, it was not. And then she put up with that. So she's the one, got to put a ring on that thing.
How did you get kicked out of? I feel like Eagle Stadium is one of the hardest ones to get kicked out of because there's probably a lot of people like you. I'm calling discrimination on that one,
Yeah. Yeah. That's rude. It was rude. Philly, you guys are rude. No hospitality, okay?
Did anybody guess Eagle Stadium or no?
Yes, there's one person in particular. I forgot his name. He will win.
Maybe he was the fan who helped you, and he was like, "I know this story."
Yeah, well, he deserves it. Then he deserves it for sure. But that's the gist of the story. I'm sorry I can't give a lot of detail because I don't remember anything.
Yeah,
and honestly, I'm not trying to bring it back up with my wife because my God, right?
Did you get that girl's number though. I'm just
No, got blocked. Rude. So rude. And then we drove back the next day, and it was
it was glorious.
She was mad at me. I don't know why she was so mad. Like
you won the
game. She spent $250 per ticket. Yeah, we won the game. We won the game. Not like we spent $250 per ticket and drove all the way up there just for that, and then didn't even go. Like, what the?
Yeah, you went there to visit your friend. That's what the story is.
Nailed it.
Have a good time.
Yep. Well, thank you for joining us once again. Episode 18. We will see you on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. Bet responsibly. Drink responsibly.
100%. Don't buy girls drinks at bars with your girlfriend.
Don't do that.
Don't go to Eagle Stadium just in general. And
I don't know. I feel like she made that up, but I can't say otherwise. So I'll just yeah.
And don't eat the yellow snow. That's my advice to you.
The yellow snow. All right, guys. Deuces.
Peace.